State troopers. So the police had to come in and break everyone up. It was that bad. The game that the NCAA wants you to forget. Now, I don't know why. I don't know why they want you to forget it. I don't know anything that's going to go on in this game. I don't even know what teams are going to be in it, but it is going to be interesting to see. There's got to be something that goes down in this game. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. It will massively help me out right now. But yeah, let's just get straight into the video and find out the reason why they want you to forget about this game.
The officials have the toughest task of all. I don't know how
2006.
Assess any penalties here.
You know, I say why don't they just meet outside in the tunnel after the ball game and get it on some more.
On this fateful day in 2006, one of
Wait, was that the commentator saying that? I'm hoping it gets a little bit more to that a little bit later on, but do you know what? Let me just go back.
You assess any penalties here.
You know, I say why don't they just meet outside in the tunnel after the ball game and get it on some more.
On this fateful day in 2006, one of college football's most infamous moments would occur. In a game that featured the University of Miami and FIU, what took place was so outrageous and disgraceful, the aftermath, which would be devastating, included 31 suspensions. Now, let me give you some context.
Florida International University, located in Miami. Today, the Panthers get Big Brother to the east, the University of Miami, located in Coral Gables.
Miami and FIU's campus are only 9 miles apart, so to say that these kids were familiar with each other would be an understatement. They were probably going to the same parties, some of them probably hung out, but at the end of the day, Miami is a private university, plus they're a way better football program. That would mean that all the better...
Okay, so basically if you're good, you're going to go to one. If you're not good, you're going to go to the other. So, yeah, I can understand the hostility there. That, yeah, you're not going to be happy with the people from the other team. They got picked over you. I can understand that little bit of rivalry. Obviously, as well with the fans. I don't know. I know with some games you have mostly home supporters and very little away. If it's a game this close and they're that close to each other, would it be like 50-50 home and away fans?
High school football players in the area went to Miami, while the lesser players who didn't get recruited to Miami probably went to FIU. This already had a recipe for animosity. It also doesn't help that Miami had developed a reputation as being, let's call it, undisciplined. Now put these two schools on the field against one another, you're just begging for something to go down.
Now we got a little shoving going on, a little frustration.
These two teams had been chippy the entire game. Well after plays, players from FIU were still going at it. Miami would score their second touchdown of the game, where he would then wave to the FIU sideline, then take a bow, which would later be flagged for an excessive celebration penalty. This seemed to have put the FIU players over the edge because...
I think if you're an FIU player, you got a point to prove there. You want to prove yourself now, like you should have been picked. You should have been in that Miami team. So you're going to be going out there. You're going to be going full steam.
More than 30 seconds after the play was over, dudes were still jawing at one another. The tension between FIU and Miami had been building the entire game. Inevitably, it was going to snap.
John Petty's extra point is up and good, and another melee on the field. This one is getting out of hand. Flags all over the place, and this is ugly. Very ugly.
Okay, that's a bit naughty. It's just a straight out ball. Man, this is crazy. This is crazy. Wow. I'm speechless.
After 50 seconds of pure chaos, state troopers and FIU police had to come on the field to restore order. After
state troopers, so the police had to come in and break everyone up. It was that bad. Wow.
The teams finally began separating towards their own sidelines. The referees huddled up to discuss how they were going to penalize
I didn't know you had that many referees.
It took them nearly 15 minutes to come up with an answer.
6
That
referees?
had to be the longest 15 minutes of all time. During that break in the action, Miami was seen celebrating and chanting, with fans proud of what had just gone down, and other fans fighting in the crowd, eventually to be stopped by the local police. But that's not even the worst part. Listen to what the other commentator during this broadcast had to say following the fight.
Now the Metro-Dade police trying to restore order.
And that's what I'm talking about. You come into our house, you should get your behind kicked.
Oh.
You don't come in the OB playing that stuff. You across the ocean over there. You across the city. You can't come over to our place.
He's
talking
angry.
noise like that. You get your butt beat. I was about to go down the elevator and get in that thing.
You can't say that as a commentator. You can't.
You know, I say why don't they just meet outside in the tunnel after the ball game and get it on some more.
Nah.
So
You
this
can't say
commentator,
that.
Lamar Thomas.
You can't say that as a commentator. Do you know what? It don't matter what team you support. If you're commentating on a game, you can't be going on one side or the other. You've just got to be fair and open. That's kind of your job as a commentator. I'm guessing this guy ain't a commentator anymore. There's no way he's got a job after saying things like that. Surely.
Was a former player for the Hurricanes back in the early 90s. Lamar
Okay.
was one of the program's best receivers ever, but he wasn't exactly the greatest guy in the world. In 1996, he was charged with aggravated battery after beating his pregnant fiancée. Lamar pled no contest and served jail time. Then he allegedly beat her again in 1997. He probably never deserved to be in that booth in the first place. Because of those comments he made during that game, Lamar Thomas was immediately fired.
Okay, that's
when the
right.
broadcast re-aired, they had cut those comments he made.
Oh, wow. They cut him up.
Like I said in the beginning, 31 players would be suspended, 13 from Miami and 18 from FIU. Most of these guys served one-game suspensions. Number 26 for FIU, Chris Smith, was thrown.
So I'm guessing like it's not like with the NFL. I'm sure we watched a video where people was getting fines. In college football, you're not earning the money like they're earning in NFL. Do you even earn anything in college football? I actually don't know that.
Number 26 for FIU, Chris Smith, was thrown off the team for this. And number 24 on FIU, McDuffie, was also thrown off the team for kicking that dude in the head. Number 26 on Miami, Anthony Reddick, pulled the most notorious move of all. It's
What
what
is he
you
doing
all
with that
know
helmet?
now as the Myles Garrett move. He would be suspended indefinitely, but that indefinite suspension lasted only 4 games.
That's mad.
The punishment overall was extremely light. This would anger many. An ESPN writer called Miami's one-game suspensions a soothing caress and manicure. Now, check out this photo. This picture of FIU player Ahmad Ned on crutches became infamous. It had kind of turned into a meme before memes were a big deal. But for FIU, they would continue to fall into the depths of despair. They finished the season 0-12, their coach resigned, and they would go on to lose 23 straight.
So they didn't win one game after that. Not one. Not one single game.
For Miami, they would finish with their worst record in just about a decade.
Oh, both
the
of them.
legendary dynasty of the U was old news. Head coach Larry Coker had made a complete fool of himself. This dude had the balls to say this after the game. Quote, "I think it'll affect the image of our program greatly, but in a positive way. I think that when they see the video and they see how it was handled, they will be impressed with our players."
Well, I've just seen that part and I think the players could definitely have had a bit more respect. The players could have definitely acted in such a better way than that. There's ways you can act. I can understand the hostility between them. I can understand the rivalry. There's taking it a step too far, and that's definitely taking it a step too far, along with a commentator as well. What he was going on about, I don't know. But yeah, you can't take it that far. Win the game. That's the best thing you could do. Against your rival, the best thing you could do is win the game. So I can understand why it's messed up the seasons of those teams. Both of them just went on losing streaks. This guy with a helmet again.
You know what we be saying right now? We ready. We ready. We ready.
This guy.
We've had a down couple years, but you don't come in here talking smack. Not in our house.
Mad. That was a a good video. I'm surprised what happened in that game. You know, I didn't know there was any college games where it would kick off like that. I guess I can imagine that sometimes with rivals, you know, things are going to happen. But yeah, thank you for checking out the video. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and it'll massively help me out. I'll see you on the next reaction video.